Hi, welcome. I'm going to do a quick rundown of my music room, home office, chill out area, call it what you will. I have done it before, but things have changed a little bit. Yeah, so it's not a big room. It's 1 metre 80 wide, it's about 6 foot, and it's about 3 metres 40 long, about 14 foot. So not the biggest space. And it's taken a bit of creativity to get all my stuff in, but I've managed to do that. I'm not going to do any rundowns on the individual bits of kit in there. I won't have time in this video anyway. This is more about what I've got, how it sits, how it links. So yeah, so here we go. So my little room sits at the end of the corridor here, and my dog's barking in the background. So as we open the door, we have a couple of cabinets on the wall, just general niff-naff and crap in the cabinets. I'm going to shut this door behind me. On the wall we have a Martin 0028, just for noodling. And on the floor we have a Yamaha DSR12. It's on ISO mats. Don't actually use that in the room. It is my on-stage keyboard monitor backline, depending how I want to run it. A couple of shelves, some work stuff on there. I've got some light strips, both over the keys rig. Underneath the keys rig, there's a strip light under there as well, so I can see. It can get a bit dark in here. So the keys rig. At the bottom, we have a Roland RD2000 88 note weighted stage piano. The top board is a Roland FA07 76 note synth action workstation. Couple of modules above that, we have a Legends expander organ module, we have a Novation Peak synth module, and we have a little Behringer mixer. It basically means I can control all my levels from the desk. Now these are all mounted on a quick lock X stand, double tier. Underneath I've built a little kind of pedal rack, various functions for the keys, which I will go over. I will do one on the keyboard rig separately. The top board actually has an MDF panel that I've built a shelf out of, and all the modules, if you can see, are sitting on laptop stands. They just slide underneath the FA just for a bit of security, and they're fully adjustable, so I can sit them kind of where I want them, which is quite handy. I've got the Roland stool sits there. Because it's so narrow in here, you can see there's not a lot of space. So for storage it stays there. And my seat. And a window. Okay, on the opposite wall, so that's the door I came in. On the wall I've got my guitars. So we have a Saw Modern with a Floyd Rose 24 frets. We have a PRS Custom 22. Birds 10 top. That's not got its original pickups in it. It's a 1999. It's actually got bare knuckle mules in. And then we have a Tom Anderson Cobra S fitted with 3 P90s, Strat switch in, and with a pull pot to add at the bridge to get the telly sounds. I have my Select Strat, speaks for itself. And then there is a cheap vintage bass just for doing recording. Okay, so at the end of this little room I have my desk, which I built myself. It's actually built on a 2-tier Z stand, keyboard stand, and then I've used some kitchen worktops to create my shelves. It's enabled me to build it exactly the right width, so I can still get into the little cubby hole. There's a little freezer in there, household stuff. So what have we got on here? So on the top shelf I've got a pair of Adam A5Xs, my main monitors. I am going to change them up soon. Haven't decided whether to go for some Focal Shapes or some Newman KHs. We'll see. Sitting behind there I've got a printer, I've got a laptop, and there's also a sneaky little PlayStation 4 down there as well. On the bottom tier we have a mixer. This is now a Soundcraft, it used to be a Yamaha. That's a 14-in 12-out audio interface as well. So it's not just stereo in out, I can actually go into my DAW on a track by track basis should I wish. On the other side I have a Friat power station. So for those that don't know, it's a reactive load followed by a 50-watt power amp. It enables you to take a low power amp and make it louder, a high volume amp and make it quieter, or just use it as a pretty neutral valve power amp, which is what I do. I've then got my keyboard and my mouse. I've got a monitor riser with a monitor on it. There's a little switch on the back here that lets me either put the PC or the PS4 into the monitor. In the middle there's a couple of little hard drives. I've got a headphone amp mixer. All the cables are actually in the back, so I don't have to put anything in the front. And then sitting in there next to that, I've got a PreSonus fader port, which when I'm mixing sits there like that. And that drives Studio One. Studio One 4 is my DAW of choice. I do have Reaper as well, but I prefer Studio 4. And then on the bottom we have Yamaha HSA sub. Don't know if you can see under there. In the back there, I have a Zilla 2x12 cab for my guitar. It is behind this cross brace, but the cross brace has two little knurled nuts. I don't know if you can see that. So literally unscrew, that comes out and the cab will wheel out. I've then, off the offcuts from my kitchen worktops, I built a little footstool, a little razor, underneath which sits my fractal control board, my MFC 101, and an expression pedal that I generally use for wah. And that slides back under there. There's then got a little bedside cabinet, just for some general storage space, and then the guitar rack sits here. So you've got Fractal Axe-Fx on the bottom. At the top is a Line 6 Relay G90. The middle bit is a Rack 12. Now what that is, it's a MIDI controller effectively. Each of these is rotary. There's also a push click on each, and there's also a push and hold function. And it enables me primarily to control the Axe-Fx as if it's a real amp. So I've got drive, bass, middle, treble, presence, depth, master volume and levels, just like you would a front panel of an amp. I can use the pushes, so I've got a boost on one, I've got a bass cut, a mid boost, a bright, on those various bits and pieces. I use the push and hold, then effectively gives you another page. I don't tend to use that. I do have effects on page 2, so if I push and hold there I get page 2, and it's reverb, delay, chorus, and it's the balance. So I can change them quite quickly, but it makes the Axe-Fx very useful live, because it's all in front of you. So yeah, we've got sat in the corner there a mic stand. It's a JM47, a Joe Meek condenser mic, and hanging on the wall here I've got my PlayStation headphones. I've got some AKGs, some 271s closed back for tracking, and some more AKGs, 701s, 702s, open back for mixing. So yeah, quite a lot in a small space. I just about get by. So yeah, hope you enjoy. I will be back. I will do a rundown of the keys rig separately about how that integrates as a key solution. I'm also going to do one on the organ module. There's not a lot on the net about those yet. They're quite new, and I have been asked on the organ forums to do a quick video, so I will. So see you all later. Bye bye.